everyone. Welcome to GT Time. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us, as always, is our uniquely talented and knowledgeable panel, including Brandon Jones. Hello. Daniel Bloodworth.
Happy Thursday.
In the super seat this week, Michael Huber.
Good afternoon.
And making this all happen, Don Casanova.
Hi, everybody. Good to be here.
Yeah.
Wait, Don, where's Ian?
Oh, he's here. Flying co-pilot.
Hi. So Don, what's happening right now? Are you learning the ropes?
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming in here. We got a lot of ins, a lot of outs.
He's doing great.
I feel like Kristoff in the Truman Show right now. I got the weather over here.
Fantastic reference. That's a legit reference. Don, are you comfortable with if you disagree with anything we're saying? Are you comfortable with cutting in and saying that's wrong?
Absolutely.
Great. Okay. All right. So our super seat question. For viewers, I think we just cut to black there, which might mean something. Okay, so Michael Huber, in the super seat, you were responsible for answering this question. What is a project you worked on in high school that you are still proud of today?
You know, I'm not the most artsy fellow. In fact, I draw probably worse than a toddler. But I was in a ceramics class in freshman year, and I made a mask, and I painted it like Darth Maul's face, and I still have that mask today.
Can you wear it?
It's not really wearable. It's like a ceramic style.
With enough duct tape.
Yeah, you could probably wear it.
I mean, could I put it on my face?
You could put it on your face.
Have you put it on your face?
Yeah, to like scare people.
Yeah.
But you have to like hold it. I guess if you made a string or some duct tape, yeah.
Where is it now?
It's in my home in Orange County, like where I lived with my parents, on my bookshelf, just like on top.
Do you remember how your teacher reacted to it?
Yeah, a really weird relationship with this teacher. I got in a lot of trouble actually in high school.
I believe that.
I got banned from this class numerous times. Yeah.
Wait, numerous times meaning you were banned and then let back in?
Yeah.
And then banned again?
Like sit today out kind of thing. Yeah, it was out of control. Because it was like a free class. It was ceramics. Everyone's messing around. Mrs. Wild, her name was.
Okay.
We had this really love-hate relationship. We were super close.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes she just wouldn't have it. And be like, Huber, you're gone. Yeah.
Wait,
I wish I had that power.
So she was really proud of that. Oh, wow. She was really proud of that mask.
Really?
Yeah.
What did she say? Like
She's like, this is excellent work. Like, you know, if you put your mind to it, you can make some good stuff.
Did it have spikes? Or did you just do the paint?
Yeah, just the paint.
Oh, okay.
No spikes.
He does have spikes hidden under that hood.
Yeah.
That's a great story. Thank you, Michael Huber. Let's smoothly transition into corrections. Begin corrections music, please, Don. Don, how does that feel?
Oh, that's nice. Sorry if I was a little late with the music there, but it's here now. Right?
Don, do you like the corrections music?
Yeah, it has a nice rhythm.
I believe that too. Okay, so let's get into them. Last week I said that 80% of EA's games were on current gen consoles. It was actually 80% of Battlefield Hardline was on current gen. They didn't really remark on the total of all their games. The Pokemon theme park was always temporary. It was a traveling theme park.
Right.
That would travel to different parts of Japan for
Didn't
no
we
longer.
say that?
We were like, is it still open? Is it still around?
Okay.
Long gone. Long gone. Hasn't been around for years and years and years. There are 4 Lord of the Rings RTS games, and apparently they're not mediocre.
Crazy. I know there were 2 Battle for Middle-earths, but wow.
And people
I could have no idea.
People were very offended that you called them mediocre even, Brandon.
Sorry. I don't remember. It might have been just in context of the conversation. Like, might have been talking about other licensed things making RTS games or something.
No,
or...
we're talking about how Battlefront is going to be the Star Wars game. And you're like, yeah, they had Lord of the Rings games, but they were mediocre. And
oh my god, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, PlayStation 2.
Epic. No, yeah, that game was excellent.
We didn't bring it up, though. That's
that game was incredible.
We dropped the ball there.
That's the one.
No, yeah, both of the Battle for Middle-earth games were good. Sorry about that.
Ukulele developers, most of the ukulele developers worked on Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Whoops.
So just to reiterate what happened last week, Bloodworth said that there was no one at Rare good enough to make a normal Banjo-Kazooie game. So they made Nuts and Bolts instead. Well, they're making a ukulele now, Bloodworth, so let's see how they do. I think they'll do great. And corrections music, that's it.
It's pretty light.
I've never heard
corrections.
Blood say whoops on this show, not once. Normally when we have a Bloodworth correction, he has like a good excuse for why that happened. Today, just whoops.
Yeah. I'm owning mine too. No disrespect for Lord of the Rings games. Sorry about that.
You know, I like to start a show with a game announcement. However, this one doesn't have that sizzle of a game announcement it normally does. We're talking, of course, about Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Wait, Brandon, you made a sympathetic face when I had said it has no sizzle. Do you believe this announcement?
Oh, I
has
didn't know which
sizzle?
one you were talking about.
Oh,
So,
okay.
or the first game we're talking about is,
Yeah.
is a little lacking in sizzle, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like that, right? It feels like a new Assassin's Creed game was announced and it fizzled instead of sizzled.
Well, it doesn't help that it was sort of leaked, so like the era being revealed was sort of
Yeah.
like everyone knew that was coming.
Right.
Exactly.
Under
so,
the name Victory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just never goes away. Assassin's Creed is always there. Every game, like a game a year minimum. And before that, you know, they're already showing footage. What are we in May? The game comes out in October. It's just like all year round Assassin's Creed, Assassin's Creed, Assassin's Creed.
All right. So, Huber, I'm going to ask you, actually, to explain this game to someone who's just hearing about it for the first time. What is Assassin's Creed Syndicate?
Assassin's Creed Gangs of New York in London.
Okay, so
There you
that
go.
sounds great. What you just described sounds like a great game. Why did this not explode?
The leak, I think, definitely had something to do with it,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that Unity was not well received by the public. You know, it had a lot of problems. The game was broken for many people for a very long time. It took months for them to fix that, and it's just the fatigue is setting in. It's just too much Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. I mean, I think the fatigue is the big thing because, like, okay, I got through Rogue, but I didn't have time to get around to Unity. It's like I managed to download it, and then by the time I had finished downloading, then it was like, oh, I got to do something else, and then I never really got around to getting into Unity because it's like there's other games to play, and I just played Rogue, so.
But, I mean, you've had time. I'm going to say if Unity was a great game, you would have played it by now. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I think, yeah. Like,
But it's
yeah,
sort of, but at the same time, like I was saying, is like I felt like I got my fill of Assassin's Creed for
On
the
Rogue.
year. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so this game comes around, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I had to look at the title again to even remember what that stupid word is. I mean, here's what's different. I mean, we're in London now. There's carriages you can ride now, so you can traverse through city streets.
You have a hat.
The
got a
most
hat, you
the
got a
most
zip
interesting
line
thing
and
is
grappling
that
hooks.
it's catching up to modern time. Like, yeah, cool, it's in the 1800s, there's guns and everything, but to me, it's closer to the modern era. It's closer to like Animus, real current time, when the other ones have been in 1100, 1400, 1600. Now we're getting closer to real time. I wonder if eventually they're going to it's just going to catch up and the entire game is going to be present day. Maybe they're gearing towards that.
I'd allow it. That would make it exciting. That
Yeah.
would make an exciting announcement. One of the most interesting things I think about this game, Brandon, is that it's single player only. There's no co-op. There's no competitive multiplayer. Do you think that's cool?
I think that's an interesting choice. I think if I end up reviewing this game, I'm going to be way more critical of the campaign because I thought the co-op in Unity was fascinating. I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was...
Yeah, and then they just tossed it out.
Well, it makes sense because it's not, it's not like something like they finished the development of Unity and then moved on to Syndicate. Like while they were full steam ahead on Unity, Syndicate was in production, and so I think that was a decision they made really early on. That they're like, the team that is designing multiplayer is doing it for Unity right now. We can't take those people out and then have them do Syndicate. So do we want to develop, have this whole other team, develop this whole other system and just mirror it off what we did before, or do we really want to go all in and focus on this campaign? It just feels like another Assassin's Creed game. I think it's funny. It's like a lot of people talk about franchise fatigue, and I don't really feel that a lot of times with franchises that I really like. I'm usually really apologetic if a franchise if I really love it, but I'm feeling it. I think this game was announced as like, yeah, duh, we're getting another Assassin's Creed, buy it. And it's just like, what else? Come on, like no mention whatsoever of the Animus. I guess the Animus is gone. I guess the whole like modern day story is just done.
They never mention that until the game's out.
But they don't even
always so weird
tease
about
it.
the
You know
Animus.
what I mean? They don't even like.
Yeah.
You know, they're not even like hinting at it. I thought the whole we scored this trailer, and a lot of people were critical of us because we were like, this is really confusing. I don't really know what this guy's name is. There's not a lot of information in this trailer. And I got a lot of comments where they're like, oh, well, you needed to see the hour documentary that they released.
Well, it's not an hour, but yeah.
And then the trailers at the end of that, and then it sets up to the trailers. You need to watch that before the trailer. And it's like, negative.
No,
Like,
we're
that
rating
is
this
that is
trailer.
a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Because they clearly clipped it out. Like, they didn't just put up that video. Like, it is called the debut trailer, and you go and check it out. And so, yeah, I'm just not feeling a lot of reasons. I think this series really needs to shake things up right now.
So let's have ideas. Let's think of ideas to shake this up. Actually, let's not even think about future games. Let's think about what we do with Assassin's Creed Syndicate to get people excited about it. Let's be on that team. Let's be Ubisoft. What do we do?
I need to know more about the Animus. I need to have some kind of hint that we're beginning a new chapter of the Animus. Like, we saw the end of an era with, totally forgetting his name now. What's the guy that we were in the first, like, 4 games? No, the guy who was...
Desmond.
Nolan North, yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, and then we've had this other thing that went through 4 and Rogue.
Right, but that didn't feel like, now we're going to do this storyline. It was just kind of like, we got to do something with the Animus for 4, so let's do this.
We're starting a new arc.
Rogue, they kind of like repeated that. And then with Unity, they didn't do anything, I mean, really anything. Like, there was like 3 cinemas that you saw with a character that we don't know. I'm sure if there's like, you read novels or you really dig deep, you can figure out what was going on there.
I hate that stuff.
But like the Animus or the modern day involvement in Unity was the least amount of involvement that has ever appeared in an Assassin's Creed game before. So if you're not hinting at anything in this game, I'm assuming it's not there. You know, it's like, and don't wait, until halfway through your advertising campaign to reveal that stuff. I also need to know who you're fighting. You know, it's like they released a video where it's like, oh, we got to go get these gang leaders, and then you chase one down, you beat her up, and then yay, now we are in charge of this district. And it's like, okay, so I get 6 more districts, and then the game's over. That's it.
I think that's the problem. Is the Ezio trilogy was so epic because you followed this one character the whole time, and you had goals. You had a meeting. You saw his rise to be an assassin. It was that connection, and the stakes were high. Now they keep releasing these games that feel so disconnected from each other. There are no stakes. There's no like main villain through it all. There's no main hero. It's just like, okay, hop into a new world, do the exact same things I've been doing the entire time. I think if they started having direct sequels, continuing the story of a character and following them on the journey, that was such a big part of Assassin's Creed 2 and the trilogy of that. And that's lacking.
Also, you look back at old characters, and like Altair was introduced, super cocky, did whatever he wanted to do, and got totally slapped down by the Order. And they were like, "No, we have a creed." Like that's why he got the name initially, and like that name's just totally gone now. It doesn't mean anything. But they're like, there is a way that you do this, and you need to learn that, and you need to prove yourself as an assassin. Then we meet Ezio, who's just like this kind of brash, schmoozy kind of guy, and then his family gets taken away from him, and very brutally. And so he's like, okay, I gotta figure out what. I believe I might be getting characters mixed up, but basically we see their growth. And like I actually saw a tweet that Ubisoft sent out where they were like, I don't even know the guy's name, but they're like, meet this guy, Jacob, I think might be his name.
Top Hat Man.
Yeah, meet Top Hat Man.
Yes.
The man who was born to own the streets of London. So you're like, okay, cool. So I don't need to play this game, I guess. So like you're like like meet this guy who's guaranteed to win. Yeah. So you're like, oh, cool. There's no antagonist, no force I need to overcome, no stakes.
Yeah,
it's
there's
just
no
like
connection.
the guy's super cocky. There's no moment in the trailer whatsoever where he was like nervous. Like even Unity set up like the relationship between this female character and his tension between like she's a Templar, I'm not. I love this woman, and we obviously can't be together because she hates me and I have issues with her, and she thinks I killed her dad, and I have to solve these mysteries. There's like no mystery whatsoever in this. It's just like, hey, you just run around, you beat people up, and you take over London. It's like I don't want this guy to take over London. Like I think this guy's more trouble than he's worth. I don't know. Not feeling it.
It is hard to like introduce a character and make him likable, and you're right. It almost seems like they assumed he's likable. They assume we like this guy already because he like kills people. Other interesting thing, Blood, actually, is this game has 2 playable characters, one male, one female. They're twin siblings. Mm-hmm. Blood, do you think it's weird though that like most of the trailers just star the guy? To me, the announcement kind of falls flat. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
When all you show is the guy.
Yeah, I wish I had gone back and done watched the walkthrough again. But you only play as him, right? Like even though she's there, like it's not like you play as either one of them.
I think she's playable.
They've announced,
Oh,
yeah.
you
announced
can
that
play?
she's
You will
playable.
play as her.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
that's a huge thing people have been talking about for a long, long time, is that there's no female characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Playable
so
characters.
it's because I saw what they put up the debut trailer, the walkthrough, and then they put up a character trailer on him.
Right.
So it's like, why didn't they put a character trailer that was both of them or one trailer for each one of them?
Yeah.
If they're both just as important, then why aren't you treating them as they're both just as important?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say they're probably not gonna be the same importance.
Right.
That's the impression I'm getting anyway. That's the impression they're giving out. Is that like, yeah, you can play as a girl, but this is the star of Assassin's Creed. If you like look at even like their like press materials, it's the guy.
Yeah,
It's the guy looking.
she's not going to be on the box art,
right.
for sure.
Yeah, maybe she'll be on the side, but you're right. She won't be.
But well, the box art I think is already out there, but I don't remember what's on it. But yeah, I think, you know, speaking to what they said, I think the problem with Assassin's Creed is, you know, because they're making this yearly, they've kind of abandoned like the overall story arc in a way, and so now it does sort of feel like, well, everything you do is pointless because you know that like this standoff never goes anywhere. That like Assassins and Templars just kind of go back and forth, and you know, Templars beat them down, they come back, and it just doesn't ever feel like there's a momentum to like pushing the story forward so that you actually, you know, are going to win someday.
Stakes.
Maybe that
Yeah.
is why they're holding off on Animus stuff, because eventually they're going to have one that is all present day, and it's just gonna be like Watch Dogs or GTA. It's
I
gonna be
feel like that'll never happen, Huber.
Maybe even in the go in the future.
This is a
That'd be
dream.
awesome.
It would be so
Assassin's
awesome.
Creed like 2400
Yep.
like lightsaber Protoss blades like that'd be awesome.
I
What if-
can leap from like building to building.
Yeah.
What if it's like it'd be really cool to see a game that did multiple eras. So like they kind of dabbled in that with Unity a little bit, and those sequences were actually kind of fun. A lot of people thought those were cheesy, and I got a kick out of those where you'd see Paris in, in different time periods.
A lot of
where, like, it'd be
people-
really fun if you like broke into Abstergo and like jumped into the Animus and like hopped around through different areas.
A lot of people give Revelations a hard time, but I love how you're playing these concurrent stories when like Altair in the past, like Ezio goes and uncovers stuff that he did. I love that connection. That was so cool. They need to do more stuff like that. They've been playing it safe, I feel like. Just going through the motions.
And I do feel like it's the wrong year to play it safe after Unity.
Yeah.
Now you got to win people back harder than ever.
Well, I think the other thing too is, and Assassin's Creed's been kind of guilty of this for a while, but like they introduce quote unquote new mechanics that don't feel new at all. Like they talked about like the dart that you throw that like puts the gas out that makes people berserk, and like, okay, so it's the same dart that we've had for years, except now it forms a cloud.
They rename the darts every time.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't-
And then the grappling hook thing, it's like, well, you've had that mechanic, you just had it in stationary spots. Now you just take it with you, you know, to where you can jump up to the rooftops from, you know, those little cranes or whatever they had.
Yeah, it's honestly a little effed. It's a little effed that like you go in these gangs and you're fighting these gangs, and then suddenly it's just like, no, you're all working for me, and it's like, I was killing these guys 2 seconds ago, and now they're like, yeah, we love you. It's like, all right, that is weird. That is oh god.
Is it me, or are you guys still committed to this franchise though? It's like you're watching a TV show. You're on season 5.
You're in.
and you just kind of you're going through. It's like, all right, I guess I'll just keep watching. I guess I'll just play the next one. You know,
I love open world platforming. I love being an assassin. There's
They
so
got
many
us.
things about the series that I'm gonna play this game no matter what.
Yeah.
I just for the first time I'm like, and I'm always that guy. You know, ever since like 3. I mean, Black Flag was magnificent, but like ever since 3, I'm always that guy. It's like, no, I'm gonna be on the side that it's cool. I mean, I can defend if it's like debate class. It's like, I think I'm gonna be on the side that's pro Assassin's Creed this time.
You're right.
And for
There
the
was
first time,
definitely a
I'm
shift.
really, really trying to search for why I should be excited. And love the era. Love London. Looks gorgeous. You know, love carriages and
I have
top hats.
I do like the width of the city streets for some reason. You know what I mean? I think that's actually interesting to see. You don't see a lot of wide streets in video games.
Do you see a lot of wide streets in Europe? Does that make sense?
At that time period, yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. That's historically accurate. Let's
Okay.
talk about a game that is not historically accurate at all. Interesting follow-up to last week. We're talking about Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. This, of course, is Koji Igarashi's game that was teased last week. We talked a bit about it, and here it is. And so because we talked about it a lot last week, our expectations and our excitement, I do want to hear from you how you feel this matched your expectations, pro or con, you know, higher or lower.
That was the coolest Kickstarter video I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes, it was. That was such a cool
Absolutely
Kickstarter video.
Pure passion. That is what that was.
Well, I
This
think
is the real deal. This is a man on a mission, following his heart, giving the people what they want. Everything about this screams not for the cash, for the craft, for the art. On board.
I think it's rare to find a Kickstarter video that doesn't have passion. It's just a question of like if it's misguided passion, you know, if it's like, you know, passion, but it's like, okay, that's nice that you have passion, but I don't get a vibe that, you know, your last game wasn't good, or like you're an unfounded development team. I think confidence is the word that I really took from watching that video. That he's just like, and it's interesting because one thing that fascinates me, you know, where E3's coming up, when I see press conferences year after year, is this like divide between developers that are really good on camera and developers that are really, really not. And he's just great. He's just a great personality, you know, to come out and just look right into the camera and be like, I'm doing this, you know me, let's do it.
Toss a wine glass.
And to make humor work, which always, I get so nervous when it's people like, oh, they're about to make a joke in a Kickstarter video. And they're great.
Do you know why
his
it
whole
works?
personality is wonderful.
Yeah, it works because he's not doing it like a joke. Do you know what I mean? He's not
Super serious.
Yeah, and it is funny. He knows it's funny, but he's it is himself. He's being himself, and I think that's why it plays. He's being natural.
Because there's like a desperation sometimes when you get a sense where they're like, if this Kickstarter doesn't work, I am screwed because I can't continue working on my games. I really need this to happen. I really need your money. And like when he's sitting in the chair just like sipping his wine, you get a sense where he's like, I am so stoked that I get this opportunity, that this website exists. I know we're gonna I mean, he knew, you know, like we can't, you know, people always talk, they're just like, we really know how big our game was gonna be. Like I can't imagine that he didn't think that like he wasn't gonna not only meet that goal but at least get a mill, you know, and blow right past it. And you can just, I don't know, you can see that in his eyes. It's fun to watch.
Brandon, I do want to talk about that for a second. I want to talk about Kickstarters that maybe don't need it as badly as other Kickstarters do. I want to talk about Kickstarter as a use of, as Igarashi said himself, like using it as a thermometer. You know, just like, you know, this proves interest. You know, and then we're going to get funding from other places. Versus Kickstarter, where it's like, hey, we need this money. We can't do this without this money. Do you know what I mean? It seems like Kickstarter works two different ways. One as funding a project completely, and the other in larger cases, like larger games like this, or Double Fine's game, Broken Age, where it's just like, this is a part of it, but we just need to do this to prove this to our investors. Do you have a problem with that second usage of it?
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, and he's also extremely upfront with that in the video.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's the difference. You know, I think people sometimes feel like, you know, they're being taken advantage of when somebody puts up a goal and says, this is how much it's going to cost to make the game, and then they turn around and ask for more money from somebody else, or get a publisher involved that, you know, they feel might influence the game in a way that they didn't sign up for when they gave money to it. So I think that, yeah, you have to be like Ego was, where you just say right up front, it's like, you know, this is to prove that people will buy this game.
It's like a different investor. It's like co-investors or co-partners, you know? The Kickstarter is just one part of the overall package, so I have absolutely no problem.
Yeah, and it's sort of, I do think no one should think of themselves as an investor. You are a donator.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what gets lost as well. You know, I think a lot of people do think they invested in the game, and it is, you're just giving money, you're donating money, you're helping, but like, please don't claim any ownership over this game, or like get mad when they do need other money. So, Brandon, where do you stand on that? Where do you stand on Kickstarter?
I think it just Kickstarter in general.
No, I mean these purposes of Kickstarter. Do you know what I mean? How Kickstarter is used for games today. Like you said, Igarashi came in there. He knew he was getting $2 million. Do you know what I mean? Is that cool? Is that all right?
Yeah, I think that's fine, especially considering, I mean, it's not only a developer sell, it's not only a game sell, it's a genre sell. You know, he's saying, like, I believe this genre is still relevant. I think And we've felt that for years. It's like I want a 2D Metroid. You know, I want another Contra. I want these old games that don't need to make this jump to 3D. You know, we have these amazing downloadable games that we can get that are smaller priced. And so I want a lot of these old franchises to return that we love in 2D.
Yeah.
And just look better, animate better, run better, be bigger. You know, it's like flip the castle and then flip it again. You know, just like keep going, make it. You know, and it's like if he's, you know, what, like 3 times past his goal now. So it's like, you know, if he puts his money where his mouth is and says like, yeah, those resources are going to go into making this game better and to possibly like adding chapters onto it, so it's not just that initial game's release, but we can, you know, give life to this game after the fact.
Coolest reward ever, David Hayter.
Right.
Stretch goal.
That's it. You know what? I'm almost positive he was already on board. It is genius to make it a stretch goal.
It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
It is genius to say, hey, we have to get up to David Hayter. So everyone's like, okay, all right, here's more money. That is.
And we are just one voice
so
actor
much
because there's
detail.
clearly more characters in the game.
Yeah.
I think there's like a meter that like can shift either way. That like you either are an unfounded team that nobody's ever heard of, but you get this really great idea, and you have the attitude that's just like, hey, we're just testing the waters here, and we're seeing what happens. If you guys are interested in this game, great, but you don't have this whole like desperate like, you know, we need to make this game. People should be excited about this game. If you're not excited about this game, it's wrong. Versus, oh, I know this guy. Oh, and if you're on that side, I need to see something running. You can't just show up a screenshot and like something you drew.
Yeah.
You know, like in art class, and that is some Darth Maul mask you made, and then just
Right.
like, I'm making a Darth Maul game. Whereas you can do that if you're someone like Igarashi, where it's like, you want proof of concept? It's called Symphony of the Night. Go play it. You know, it's called Ritual of the Night. I mean, Symphony of the Night. And so if you know, then you can just throw up art, because like I can look at something like that and go, okay, I see what you're doing.
Do you think this is a game changer? Do you think now other huge developers, Yu Suzuki maybe, even Hideo Kojima...
I know where you're going with this.
Shenmue 3, shut up.
You're not
do you
gonna
think-
Shenmue 3 Kickstarter.
Do you
No.
think, though, that bigger publishers are going to get on board now and maybe make a Metroid game or something just through Kickstarter?
I don't think people would take kindly to like a corporate, you know, like a huge company actually trying to do that.
If Nintendo
Okay.
had a Kickstarter tomorrow that was like $2 million, we will give you a classic 2D Metroid. You don't think it would hit $2 million?
No, I do.
I do think
I
so.
think it would do it overnight.
I think it would, but I think that would be bad mojo, because I think
Yeah.
the major thing, I mean, like, what are the 2 big Kickstarters we're talking about? Ukulele and Bloodstained. Never heard of these franchises before. This is the beginning of something new. So like they're starting from this exciting new thing, and they can only grow from that. So like hopefully if this game sells a lot, the next time we get a Ukulele 2 or we get Bloodstained 2, we're not going to need a Kickstarter to do that. Whereas if you establish a Kickstarter for a franchise people are already familiar with, that's like the final nail in the coffin. It's like, oh wow, you can't even do it. You're not even going to make this anymore. You need Kickstarter to repeat a franchise that hasn't needed it forever.
Yeah, it sucks.
Then it's like, okay.
It's a little bit. I touched on it a little bit with Final Bossman. It's just like it's about being cool. It is way cool to donate money to Bloodstained. You know what I mean? It's like us versus them. It's like, let's fight the power. Let's give them money. And you're right. Once you lose that cool, let's give Nintendo some money. It's like, no.
Yeah,
I do think they would get $2 million.
It does
so
sort
I'm-
of carry that peer
Absolutely.
pressure thing, I think, in a little way, or like you brag about it. You know, they have the thing share on Twitter or Facebook, like after you donate. You know, and it's kind of funny because like I honestly do like tend to be the opposite. It's like when I see something like rocketing up that fast, I'm like, well, you don't need my money. Lots of other people do.
One smart thing they did is he's bringing in like other entities like journalists and content creators in the video game space into their own clans. Like Mega 64 has a clan in Bloodstained.
Did not know that.
So you can like not only donate money, but like I want to donate money and I want to be on the Mega 64 clan.
I'm not donating to their clan. I'm donating to the clan that they're against.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how those systems work, but I think that's smart. It just adds to the cool factor. That's like
Right.
Yeah.
you're not only getting on the Bloodstained team, but you're even dividing your group up into cool little teams.
We got to
And
take
cool
that
little
clan
cliques.
down.
Yeah.
Right.
We can't let them. We can't let that clan win. I do want to make it clear before we move on that I was kind of like being, for the sake of asking questions, a little condescending about $2 million. Like they don't need $2 million. They do. $2 million is a ton of money, and I know like they don't. Kickstarter takes a fee and everything, and it gets dispersed, especially giving those giveaways out to the books and everything. But yeah, $2 million is a ton of money to any game. We learned earlier that Phantom Dust was canceled because they wanted $2 million. You know, so like that can make or break a game. So I don't mean to be short about $2 million.
Can we talk about the game for a second?
Yeah.
Like the actual game?
Well,
Like, does the
I don't
game
know.
look cool?
No.
Concept art scares me.
I don't like the concept art.
Mighty Number 9. Kyle and I have talked about this
Yeah.
for a year and a half.
Yeah.
Those first concept images were awesome. That's the game I want to play.
Yeah.
And now it's these weird blocky graphics that just it
This
doesn't
will
have a
run
good
on
vibe. You know, the
Yeah.
entire vibe of the game has changed. Hopefully, Bloodstained doesn't go that route.
I think it's a little too colorful for me. Like,
I love color. Give me more color.
I would like, but it's like a gothic game, you know. Like
Yeah.
you see, like he literally starts the Kickstarter video, and it's like just blue and black and brown, you know, and it goes into the castle, and it's just like it's so dank and like Bloodborne and just great. I really like that vibe. Then you get into the game, and she like has a disease that's slowly crystallizing her body. I was like, oh, that's a neat concept. And then like, oh, and then she has her friend that's like he's got crystals all over his body, and they're literally like different patches of like super bright colored crystals.
Looks like stained glass.
And,
Maybe
yeah,
they'll
and then
fix
like the
it, yeah.
one, and so it's a cool vibe, but I'd like it if this game, it's called Bloodstained, so I'd like it if this game like got dark, you know.
Oh, it
and was-
will.
I don't
It'll
mean
get
like
dark.
heavy
It'll get
gore and
dark.
like
It will
uber
get
mature
dark.
themes and stuff, but
You're
just
going into the dungeons. You're going into the castle.
I hope so.
There will be a vampire.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is yeah, I kind of get
It's,
because
it's stained glass.
Whoa.
Their blood is stained with a disease, and their body is turning into stained glass.
I get it.
Blood stained. Yeah.
I get it. It's
I
just,
did use the word
just-
stained glass.
I just see
for the record.
rainbow colors everywhere, and it's just not.
yeah, I mean, I did
Ritual
kind
of the Night and the crayon. I'm not seeing a mesh there.
You know, Brandon, that speech right there is why Assassin's Creed Syndicate looks so boring. I feel like. I feel like that, like they're afraid to make it colorful because they're
Yeah.
afraid of Brandon Jones as being like, no,
Let's
this is
have
too
the
colorful.
street gangs, brass knuckles.
I'm just talking about the incongruity I'm seeing in the two themes. It's
Okay,
it's
sure.
called Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. And if you had just literally said those words, like you're about to watch a game called Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, and like, ooh, okay, show it to me. And then
Yeah.
you showed me this like super colorful, like platformer. Like I wouldn't.
I'm
that's just not
dancing,
the
man.
game that I would imagine.
Syndicate hero too. He's got like a beard. Every guy has a beard now.
I'm sure
Yeah.
the game is fun as hell. Like I'm sure the game is gonna be amazing. The weapons, the bosses, the world. Like I'm sure it's gonna be an incredible amount of fun to go through. It's just because it is gothic. I wish it was a little darker. But we've seen a shot, so
But
that's just
yeah,
me.
that shot is not even close to what the game's gonna look like in the end, too.
Right.
That's what I don't like about it. Is we could like criticize that one concept art, but then people will be like, it is just concept art. Also, concept art from Inti Creates. That's what really bugs me too. Is like these are game developers.
But you're
making
donating
concept
to
art.
the philosophy of it.
Oh,
It's
yes.
that he's doing that
Sure.
style of game, which I'm okay with.
If you're a listener, he was clenching his fist as he says this. He feels like
Yes.
part of the movement.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Wait, did you donate money?
$28.
Nice. I did
The,
say donate just then. Did you? I guess give money. Yeah,
The
yeah.
digital copy.
Cool.
Which you're kind of sketch on. Conflict
Sketch
of
on.
interest,
Not-
Kyle Bossman.
Yeah, you can't talk about Bloodstained anymore.
Yeah, this
Don't
makes
they-
him really uneasy that I'm.
Don't they specify in the Kickstarter that the game won't look like that? That it's just concepts and that
Yes,
it's, like,
that's why
won't
it's
look like
stupid
that?
to show it. Yeah, it's like
No, they're just like you have to show something.
right.
Like you have to show something.
A
And the
vibe.
game isn't made yet because they haven't started making the game yet. They don't have any money.
yeah, they do have money. Oh, okay, all right.
They
I
have
don't-
some money. He says that they're getting backers to match whatever they make or whatever. It's different.
I think it's misleading to have super good-looking concept art. The concept art, it looks like a game. It has an HP meter and an MP
Concept art
meter.
is.
No, concept art doesn't typically have a HUD on it.
Well, that's true. They're like concepting the HUD.
Okay.
Have you seen concept art for Star Wars? Every concept art is like, that is the greatest thing I have ever seen. And then the movie comes out and you're like, it's pretty good. It's pretty close.
That's why with Star Wars, you see a trailer before they just put out like here's the concept art of our movie. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
What?
but for publicly funded movies, they have to show you something before they shoot anything.
All right.
This is Kickstarter, man.
Yeah. If they released a trailer and the trailer was full of like moving art, like then I'd be really nervous. But
Here's
if they're
what
literally just like, putting it forward and saying, this is exactly what you're looking at right now. Like you're not looking at anything we took from a game. We drew this.
Yeah, I guess what I'm scared of is that it isn't actually concept art. I'm scared that it's promotional art created to sell a Kickstarter.
Yeah, because we were burned on Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, it's because of Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
If Mighty Number 9 didn't happen and didn't look like it does now, I wouldn't
Yeah.
be scared.
I don't like the look of Mighty Number 9 now at all.
Blood, do you like Mighty Number 9? You're being very silent when we talk about Mighty Number 9.
I don't think I've seen the most recent stuff.
Okay. It looks
Yeah.
a
It's
lot
bland.
like
But I mean, yeah, I kind of was not that down with the look of it either.
It's got the Strider effect, the most recent Strider, where everything's just kind of washed out and ugly in the background. It's got a lot of that going on.
I think Strider might even look better.
Oh boy. This game's running on 3DS. Oh, that's worth mentioning. Bloodstained will only be on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It was cool. The PlayStation blog, the main PlayStation blog, the official one.
Oh yeah.
The second the Kickstarter was reached, they had a huge article like, all right, Bloodstained PS4. Here
I
we
bet
go.
the music
Cool.
in Bloodstained is going to rule.
Oh, it's going to be very good. Yeah, I think they have a sample on the Kickstarter page.
Yeah,
now,
they've
actually.
got the old school people.
You know what? We managed to talk about ukulele last week without mentioning that David Wise is making music for it.
Tropical Freeze.
Yes.
Yes.
He made music for this Wii U origami game that I downloaded. It's
How good's the music?
It's so good.
10 out of 10.
The game itself is, how do I be kind? Not a 10 out of 10. But I'll still just like return to it some nights and just play it on my gamepad and just like listen to the music. David Wise, what a killer dude.
It's professional.
Now we get to talk about something that's a return, another return. Interestingly,
This
another
logo.
yeah, that logo is almost exactly what the last Nintendo World Championships looked like. That is because this week Nintendo announced its E3 plans, mostly mirroring what happened last year. I guess the headline is that they are returning to the Nintendo World Championships, which is something I don't think existed since the early 90s. And that is...
Yeah, I think they actually said that. That's 1990 was the last one.
Whoa, okay,
Something
cool.
like that.
Were you there, Blake?
Yeah, 25 years.
No.
Where were you when when it happened?
Is it home?
Were you
Okay.
wishing
I don't
you were
even
there?
think I had Nintendo Power yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. I just remembered Anton. Anton was an editor at GT. He competed in one of the preliminaries to get there.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But then so I forget, it's a tragic
great.
tale actually. Like he didn't play
Tragic.
he like didn't get to, or no, it was scheduled to show up at one of the malls and then wasn't there.
They're holding tryouts at Best Buy when you guys are ready to go qualify.
Yeah,
Qualifying
yeah.
rounds.
For what games?
So now it's at
Splatoon,
Best
or-
Buy instead of the mall. I don't think they've announced what the games are, which is crazy.
Probably Splatoon.
They didn't?
Smash.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'll even do Smash. I bet it's like Mario Maker. Because the Nintendo World Championships, Brandon, we played it. We played that cart.
yeah.
It was awesome. It had Mario for level 1, and it was just get as many coins, or get a high score on your way
Let's
to
see
coins.
if they said it.
Thank you, Blood. Blood's looking it up. And then it was a game. Was it Rad Racer as the middle one?
Yeah.
And then so they just get to a certain amount of length as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And
Because
then
you had a time limit, and so the faster you did Super Mario Brothers, the more time you'd have in Rad Racer.
And then the game that actually requires skill, Tetris. Everyone watching,
Kyle Bossman is a Tetris savant.
I'm so
Ian
good at
Hinck likes to
Tetris.
say.
Like, if you want to bring it on ever in Tetris, challenge me.
He's a pro.
Yeah. So
And you won the championship. You destroyed everybody.
I beat. I was the internet
It
all
was
star.
a landslide.
What's up, Jesse
So, yeah.
Cox?
Suck it, Screw Attack.
Here's that's the thing. That's like the cute thing. Like they did a Smash tournament last year. They're in the same theater they did that. They're doing the World Championships this
Hosted
year.
by
Who?
the Smash tournament. Who was it hosted by?
I don't remember. I was there. I was there in attendance. And
Wasn't it Jeff Keighley?
yes, it was. I remember because
we
they had
go.
this weird thing where everyone in the audience had signs. And he would be like, all right, now show me your favorite Smash Bros. Character. And so everyone will like show their signs.
Will he be involved with this?
Keeley?
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah.
It's not officially announced,
He'll
but
be
like, how
there.
could they not pick Keeley?
Yeah.
I don't know. Keeley might be busy. This is on Sunday. Who knows? Who knows the Keeley? He does everything. He's all over. The really exciting, the really juicy thing about their announcements. Actually, I should just say what they announced.
Yeah, it wasn't in the press release, so I don't know if they announced what the games will be.
I don't think they did. So they're doing the Nintendo World Championships. They're doing a digital event again. They're doing Treehouse Live again, which was awesome last year. And then Mario Maker, you can go play at Best Buy. Remember they had Smash at Best
Right.
Buy last year. Now you can go wait in line to play Mario Maker. I'm so condescending. I'm sorry. The digital event, though, is at Nintendo's traditional time, which is now also bumping heads with Square Enix. Showdown, Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time.
It's a bummer we can't get numbers from those. There's no way we can get views on either of those videos, so we can like crown the undisputed winner of the 9 o'clock time slot on
I
Tuesday.
guarantee we'll crown a winner. What do you mean?
You can get views from the Square Enix press conference?
Yeah, on Twitch.
Yeah, I guess like concurrent. You know?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Exactly, dude. We'll and like obviously like one will be more entertaining than the other. Here's the thing: that Square Enix thing is actually in a theater. It's a live show.
Right.
Nintendo's digital event obviously isn't.
Right.
Should somebody reschedule? Should somebody just say, okay, we'll reschedule?
No, it's a showdown. It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Let the viewers decide who to watch.
What about the press? What about games media?
Diversify.
Well, obviously, it's going to be easier for Nintendo to reschedule, and they didn't. So
No, I don't.
No one's backing down.
Yeah.
Now I'm telling you, if you back down now, you look weak.
Here's the thing, though.
They're not gonna do it.
I think it's because it's online. Actually, if like games media isn't a big deal. If two people had to go to two different shows at the same time, big whoop. I'm thinking about Twitter. I'm thinking about how you spread out your words, and there's just going to be too much clashing. There's going to be, oh, did you see the Final Fantasy 15 thing? Did you see what Nintendo announced? There's not enough space on Twitter for it all. I'm scared. I do wish someone would bump, and they're not going to. I think it's clear now nobody's going to shift.
No.
Which is crazy to me. Brandon, which will you be watching?
Square.
Me too. Because Zelda's.
No hesitation.
Because it's live. It's done.
live.
There you
Yeah.
go. It's like, gee, one's live, and the other one is probably finished editing days before it goes up. And
Watch that.
I'm gonna
when
say
it scores
second.
over.
clearly Nintendo. I think clearly Nintendo's like, maybe we're not going to have as exciting of a lineup as we are having this year compared to last year. So we're cool if you watch it later. I mean,
Whoa.
go check out Square.
That's not
And
at
maybe
all what
Square
they're
knew
like-
that. Maybe Square's like, well, we want this time slot, and we're going up against a prepackaged video that's just like being posted at this one
But
time
you know
that you can check out later. So
that there's gonna be a ridiculous Zelda trailer.
There's
Is
not.
there?
No,
Is
it's
there?
gonna happen.
it's not going to happen. They already
Oh.
said no Zelda.
well, they
No
said it
Zelda
won't be at E3. That
Yeah.
it could still very well be in the
You
digital
know
thing
there's gonna be a trailer
in some form.
I don't know, Huber. I really don't.
I
Hubert,
know.
are you willing to do a side bet right now?
Right now, side bet.
Well, it's an E3 bet though. We need to
This
save
is a
these.
separate
Okay,
side
all
Side
right,
bet.
bet.
We
all
can't
right.
get into this right now.
Look
Okay.
forward to Hubert and my
Okay.
E3 special.
It's gonna happen.
There's
But-
no way it's going to happen. No, you will not see that game.
I do feel like, I mean, Nintendo will certainly have surprises, I'm sure, but in terms of what people know to anticipate from the show, it's like, yeah, Nintendo's kind of doesn't have the strength that Square has when they have Just Cause and Deus Ex and Final Fantasy. They've got a lot of, and Tomb Raider, whereas Nintendo is like, maybe they'll show a little bit of Zelda, but they're not going to go that deep into it. And then Xenoblade's been out in Japan already. Splatoon will already be out. So, what, Yoshi and Mario Maker and Star Fox?
They're going to lean heavy on Star Fox. They're going to lean heavy on Mario Maker, which does bum me out.
I just imagine these poor guys on the Square Enix stage looking out at this crowd, and everyone's like,
that's true.
It's like every single person in every chair is going to have the Nintendo Direct on their lap, just waiting. Like with headphones on. Like, okay, did he say? Okay, now,
Yeah, for listeners, Brandon's doing a very funny thing where he's mostly looking down at his phone, which is, I think, any show.
head down through the whole thing.
Because you know there's gonna be filler.
Which is brutal. As somebody who's performed on stage a lot, if you like look out in the crowd and nobody's looking at you, like
Yeah.
Someone's gonna come out.
that's
They're gonna
rough.
be like, "Oh, we've sold this many Square games on this
That's not going to.
console."
No way. That's not going to happen. They're not going to do
know.
that.
Anytime the lights go down and a video comes up, it's like, okay, I can rewind the Nintendo Direct and go back and see what happened, but I'm going to focus on this. And then the second it's just some dude on stage talking,
Yeah.
I'm going right back to the Direct.
I honestly feel the Square Enix presentation will probably be all killer, no filler.
Whoa.
I do. I
Care
think
to make a side bet, Bossman?
you know
Stop it.
You
Stop
know
it.
it, bro. Let's
Stop
bring
it,
it.
you.
Okay, all right.
But think about this. Think about, who's going to be running Twitter that day? It's the journalists, right? It's going to be these, people that are really looking forward to these announcements. Are going to be freaking out about it. And you wake up on Tuesday, and you're not going to be thinking about the Nintendo Direct. You're going to be thinking about Square. It's like, I got to get dressed up for that thing. I got to drive down there. I got to park. I got to wait in line. I got to get in there. It's like your whole mindset is going to be around getting to that Square event, talking to people beforehand, and so I just think the mindset's going to be Square that morning. And then Nintendo, is going to have some crazy thing.
Zelda trailer. It's gonna blow everything out of the water. Square's gonna be an afterthought when that Zelda trailer hits.
They could have. It's been so easy to just bump it up an hour, to just do it at 8. Do it
Yeah.
at 8 and have it wrap up
They're
before
not scared.
Square starts. And they didn't for some reason. And I think they didn't because they're like, we can't compete. And we were looking at Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy,
Oh,
They
they
chose
these
to
huge
compete
announcements.
because they said we can't compete.
It's because they're not scared.
They're not scared. Both sides are not scared.
Yeah.
Both sides think they're the
Both,
hotness.
yeah, they have a trump card, both
Yeah,
of them.
Yeah. I think that's what's happening
Now,
right now.
here's the thing: Nintendo doesn't have to have a trump card.
What do you mean by that, Blood?
Nintendo, they're just gonna do their thing, and it's like, somebody else is doing it. Oh, whatever. Like they still, it's like it doesn't even. They don't have to feel like their stuff is better for
They're in
them
their
to
own
feel like
world.
they don't have to budge.
Wow, you're right.
They're
I
in
mean,
their
that's
own
how they make
world.
consoles.
It's like they're doing their thing for the Nintendo fans, and the Nintendo fans are gonna watch their thing, and they'll be really excited about it, and et cetera, et cetera.
That's not the path forward to me, Blood, though.
Right.
It's appealing only to Nintendo fans. Do you know what I mean? Like, E3 is the time to appeal to everybody. Everybody's watching your stuff at E3, even haters. And it's like your chance to prove to the haters that we have some stuff worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
And so that, I don't know. I wish, in my dreams, that I would shake hands one night and, like, they would do rock, paper, scissors. And they would say, all right, winner gets the 9 o'clock time slot, loser gets 8. I wish that would happen. Please do it. Please consider it. Please listen to my appeal. Please, please, please. Don't ruin each other.
I mean, just from a editor-in-chief perspective, I'm actually we're going to be on this stage right here streaming all through E3. I'm kind of looking forward to like having like this side of the table watching the Nintendo press conference and this side of the table watching Square Enix press conference.
Yeah, that I think is genius.
Just like
so
bickering back
we'll
and
have
forth.
like
That
these
is
two monitors.
So jolly.
Yeah.
It's just going to be epic announcements one after another. Okay, we're talking about this. Oh, we're talking about this. Oh, we're talking about this.
Yeah. Yeah, to those curious, actually, our workaround for Twitch not wanting us to full screen other people's streams, we're just going to put them on these TVs is our idea and like live react to that. So that might be a cool live stream, watching both at the same time. Oh, you know what? There's actually been a lot of E3 announcements, so I should take a little moment now to talk about the E3 schedule so far. Basically everybody but Sony. So again, to reiterate, Sunday, June 14th, Bethesda's doing their crazy new press conference, all Bethesda.
E3 starts right now.
It's 7 p.m. Pacific.
Dishonored 2. Let's go.
That's gonna be all
Right
killer
now.
too. Bethesda's gonna be no fluff. Monday, of course, kicks off with Microsoft at 9:30 a.m. That's gonna be on Spike.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. Good
Isn't
for
that
Spike.
crazy? Yeah,
good for Spike.
I was very surprised by that. We're not involved with any of that, but definitely cool. Also, it'll appear on your Windows phone. EA was going to be at 1 p.m. Pacific. That'll be 1 hour. Ubisoft, as traditional, goes after EA. There will be at 3 p.m. Then Tuesday, of course, we have this head-to-head Square Enix Nintendo at 9 a.m. And then later that evening at 5 p.m. Pacific is our interesting PC gaming stream.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And Sony will most likely be, Monday night sometime.
Oh yeah, it'll probably be Monday night, 7 p.m. most likely. They've probably already announced it by the time this goes up. It seems like everybody they're pretty solidified. Everybody's rushing to get their news
Will
out there.
Doom 4 be at this year's E3?
Are we doing bets
Yes.
again? Save it. Save that for bets. But yes, it will be. Our bet's going to have to be like, how long will the trailer be? You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's almost so sure to happen. Okay, we should move on to...
Fallout. There was that announcement too. That like
They
What was the
actually
announcement?
announced it?
Fallout 4 has all but been announced. I mean, it's just like ridiculous.
Guillermo
It's
del
like,
Toro's company is making the trailer.
Right.
Well, hold on. That's not an announcement, though. Don't get me excited about the word announcement.
okay, sorry. Rumors. The announcement of a rumor.
Yeah, it's basically a rumor announcement. You're right. So hold on. What's the rumor? Let's get that out of the way very quickly.
That his studio or whatever is making a trailer for Fallout 4.
How does that stuff never leaks? By the way, that's pretty crazy. That's unprofesh.
And somebody put it up on their official page or like their LinkedIn page
I think
or
it was a
something.
LinkedIn.
It was like
Yeah.
a credit that they had worked on.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
you idiot.
It's always the contractors, man. It's always the voice actors. It's always like the editors, the animators, or whatever. They're just like, oh, I worked on this cool thing. Whoops.
and you know that, like, just being through that, there were 3 people who said, do not talk about this.
Yeah.
And that person still was like, well, I need a job. Here's it on my resume. Yeah, sure. All right. That's how that works. We're moving on to, well, you're the one who started this conversation. Who started the conversation this week?
What did I do?
Huber started the conversation this
You
week?
looked so uncomfortable.
What?
What?
I'm super cozy right
Calm
here.
down, Kyle.
In response to, well, you're the one who started the
Oh,
conversation, his eyebrows were raised. He was so nervous.
Screaming in Don's ear.
Well, here's a quick one. Don, are you okay? Your ears okay, buddy? No, we didn't hear you. Got to do it one more time.
Hey, okay.
All right.
Good.
A lot of levers in here.
All right, let's do a little quick
Anybody know
practice
where the air
round.
conditioner?
You ready for GT Live, right? I mean,
Yeah, we're not seeing you there.
you're totally ready to go.
It's getting kind of hot in these control booths.
It does look really hot. It seems like
Ian.
very well insulated.
Ian's in there, isn't he?
You
Hey-o.
playing Hearthstone in there, Ian? Is that Hearthstone?
No.
It's Quell.
Oh, okay.
It's very lovely.
What is
game.
Well,
Cool.
So
how do we spell that for the fans? Oh wait, get it back to the camera thing. Oh, okay.
No,
Oh,
for,
nice.
for listeners, how do we describe Quell?
You
There are a bunch of squares on the screen.
kick this little raindrop around trying to collect little gems or whatever. I don't know.
Quell.
You know what it looks like?
Alright.
It looks like ice puzzles in RPGs where you can only go one direction at a time. Is it like that?
Yeah.
I freaking love ice puzzles. Anytime I'm in a Pokemon dungeon with ice puzzles, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to chill out here for a while. I love ice puzzles. I do not know why. So stupid. Well, Ian, you're the one who started that conversation. This is from Boston Shiny D, who we've had a couple of times on the show, ask us some questions. This one I think is interesting. Happy late Mother's Day, guys. Do one of your mothers play games with you, and what games? We had Brandon's mother on GT Live last week for Mother's Day. I'm curious, do any of your moms play games with you?
Hearthstone.
Your mom plays Hearthstone?
Yeah, we've dueled.
I tried.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, she rarely plays. It's a lot for her to grasp, I guess.
How did you even sell that to her?
It's like, Mom, you gotta play this. She loves card games. She
Okay.
plays a lot of card games. She plays solitaire. She plays
Canasta?
Canasta. She plays.
Nice.
I forget what this other one is called, but she plays with my grandma all the time. Super into card games. Super into mobile. Plays some like Wizard of Oz slot machine all the time. I'm like, Mom, if you're gonna play mobile games, or if you're gonna play a game on your phone, I should say,
Yeah.
Hearthstone.
Give it a shot.
Or I had her play on the iPad.
Yeah.
When it came out on iPad quite a while ago. So.
Did it take her a while to grasp it?
Yeah, she put it down for like a few months, and then I went back home. I was like, You've been playing? Hype it up. Let's go. Let's play. I got her into it, so she plays once in a while.
So Huber Hype even works on your own mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blood,
Oh, it works.
what's your mom play with you?
She doesn't really play any video games. We'll play Scrabble, but yeah.
On your phones?
No. Just,
Oh, in real life.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to get your mom to play a game?
I think so.
What'd you try?
I don't know.
Like, what was your sell? Where you're
I
like,
don't-
You would like this game.
I don't
'cause
have
of-
any memory of this. I'm just generalizing assumptions.
I guess, Blood, we would just ask that you be more like Huber and just say, Mom, you should really try this one out.
Hearthstone.
Yeah,
Hype
get
it
her,
up.
get her to try Hearthstone at least. What's the apprehension there, Blood?
She doesn't have that much interest in it,
Oh, man.
just in general.
Brandon, what does your mom play with you?
Pac-Man was the big one on the Atari 2600 back in the day.
What?
Big Pac-Man fan.
Why'd she drop off? Why doesn't she do that anymore?
Because other systems came out and it was just too complicated.
Jones, you know what you should do?
One joystick, one button.
You know what you got to do?
Hmm?
You got to go to your mom. You got to say, Yo, Mom.
Yo, Mom.
Pac-Man Championship
Right.
Edition. One-on-one. Let's go.
One analog stick, one button. Let's
Yeah.
go. This
Do
could
that.
not be easier.
I want to see that, Jones. I want to see it just played. You and your mom, Pac-Man Championship Edition.
It seems like she'd be down. Too.
Yeah.
We met your mom.
Do you
She'd be
need a
down, I
button for
think.
Pac-Man? You don't even need a button.
You don't
need any
a
buttons.
You don't even need a button.
You guys got to play it.
All right.
I want to see it.
You know what's funny is I don't think controllers are too complicated. I think that's like an easy excuse. I think it like looks like something that's not cool to parents. You know what I mean? Our parents were cool. Our parents like grew up in the 60s and 70s, and they're just like, this thing sucks. Look how stupid this looks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, but it's not just understanding buttons; it's feeling the buttons. You know what I mean? Like you have to. I remember classically playing Halo like way back in the day, and I went up and like meleeed a friend, and he was like, "See, that's the difference. I know the button for melee, but you like know it. You know, like you like when you run at me, like you think melee, you don't think RB. You know, like it's like you know."
Yeah.
When QuickTime prompts come up, you don't look at the controller. Like that's the difference.
At the
and
same
where like
time-
they would have to, and so it's just kind of stressful.
I feel like nobody snubs their nose at a saxophone though. Like nobody's like, ew, no, it's too complicated, too many levers.
I'll snub my nose in a saxophone.
No, saxophones are great.
Snaxophones, ooh.
We're not talking about
Snaxophone.
snaxophones. That's a totally separate thing.
So what it is, it's like a little like it is a saxophone, but you just like drop Cheetos into it and you like suck them up,
Sucks the cheese dust.
and it makes like a real crunchy, just sick like electronic music as you just snack it up. That's
Wait.
a cool instrument.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I
your
guess.
I
saxophone.
got to see. I've never heard
The
this
inside
thing.
of wind instruments is so disgusting.
Yeah, exactly.
Those snacks would be so gross. Those would be the most vile
Because of the
snacks.
You're gonna make them
Yeah.
way
Oh,
more
God, It
disgusting.
gets all nasty and like soupy in there. Oh, jeez.
Ugh.
Yeah. So yeah, Google that. Shoot, that was the end of You're the One Who Started This Conversation.
There was another good one. I want to do
Wait,
a
yeah,
quick one-word answer to that one.
Which one? The MOBA one or the E3 one?
The E3 one.
Okay, cool. Actually, that one's very relevant. So let's do that. All right.
Yeah.
So Bogey J asks, does E3 matter anymore?
Yes.
With the amount of conferences spread throughout the year, does it make sense to save it for E3?
Yes.
It makes sense to cancel some of those other conferences.
So here's what I gotta ask though. Traditionally, we do not see Assassin's Creed gameplay until E3. We saw it this week. They debuted their gameplay in a long demo, traditional like it's basically was an E3 demo. I mean, Brandon, this kind of goes with this person's theory. I mean, like they didn't save it for E3. Why did you say they should?
But that's a build towards E3. Like they're showing you that, so it's like, please be excited for E3 when we show you more, when you actually get your hands on it, or we'll have a cool CG trailer or something. But yeah, if there's some weird announcement before E3, it's so I can get this game in your mind, and then we'll blow it out at E3, and you'll see a lot more. So it's all about E3. I love E3.
Defend E3 though. What's the purpose? What's the purpose when we have the internet?
Because you never know what's going to happen every day, and you know, like sometimes you get up and there's like a cool announcement, but there's just something about everybody getting together at the same time. There's something about like just clear your schedule. It's like why have Christmas? Why can't we just have Christmas every day? It's like then Christmas wouldn't mean anything anymore. You know, like that's the thing about holidays. Like you like it's like Mother's Day and Father's Day. Like you take a specific time of the year, and that's the time where you get excited about games. And that's the time when everybody brings their A game. When even like the silliest little Japanese game or mobile game has the most amazing trailer you've ever seen because everybody brings their A game. So I think if you didn't have something like E3, then there would just be more passivity in the industry, where it's just kind of like, okay, well, we'll make that one cool announcement a year, and we'll own that one day, but then that's it. So that one day I'm excited about that one game versus this week where we're excited about everything across the industry.
And it's that live reveal. Everyone's eyes are on that moment when they're like, we got something to show you. Versus the internet, you know, oh, you hear about this, word of mouth, go online, oh, see it, watch some cool trailer. Something about the actual developers of the game saying, watch this right now. The lights go down.
It's
pure hype.
E3 has a feeling. It has a feeling. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's like if there was no E3, everybody would assume that they're the coolest thing ever and that everybody should always be excited about it. But when you have E3, it's like everyone has to prove it. Everyone has to step out and prove. Bethesda's proving why you should be excited about our company, why we are relevant, why we are one of the biggest players in this industry. That's why we're having a press conference.
Yeah. You're right.
Whereas if Bethesda didn't have a press conference and wasn't involved at E3 as big as they are this year, it's just like, oh yeah, they're just another. You know, if you're into their games, you are. If you're not, then you just play other games. Whereas a lot of people are going to be reconsidering, like, yeah, I did play Fallout 3, but man, everyone's talking about Fallout 4.
Yeah.
You know, because I was excited about E3, and this is now a part of E3, as opposed to just that Fallout 4 trailer coming out and you completely missing it because I'm not into that franchise.
I love more too is when they play the game on the stage and they just show the game and just some guys. Right
That's
there.
powerful.
Yeah. That is
very
so
yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I want this industry to be way more relevant than it is, and I think E3 is one of the biggest ways to do that. So.
Yeah, I think Twitch empowers E3. I think it just feels good to be in a chat and see other people reacting to that thing happening live.
Right.
Yeah, E3 is only getting stronger, I think, because I think the reason Bethesda has a press conference this year is because of Twitch. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think, yeah, same with, who else added one this year?
Square
Enix, yeah, exactly.
Everyone is finding out at the exact same time when a game gets shown.
It just feels so good. It's so
electric.
fun. Yeah, it's very, very fun. All right, so thank you. You saved us.
Sorry to drag that out, but then.
Bogey J. No, Bogey J saved us. So that was you're the one who started this conversation. Time for bets. This is a new slate, by the way. If you're just listening, we have like a nice incorporation of the GT time. I didn't even that didn't ever occur to me that we should use that. So thank you for having some branding ideas. So that is Arazel, also known as Danny in real life, I assume. Thank you so much for that. Weird thing though is I'm liking these slates so much. I'm not gonna ask for any more. I'm really happy with them. Like, how is anyone going to improve upon this neon GT time sign?
It's real hot.
Too cool.
It's too cool. It's like, all right.
When I came in today, I saw it on the screen. I was like, oh, that's cool.
This is a whole different show. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's what a baller show we have now. Thank you, everyone who submitted things. Our bet. The Witcher 3 releases next Tuesday.
So far away.
Tuesday is so far away?
Yes.
This game has been delayed so many
I'm
times.
losing sleep. It's so close. God.
You know, I'm thinking about just installing it. They have like a discount of like $5 if you just like pre-install it. I'm like, oh man, I might. It's not bad.
The special edition with the expansion, how much do you save on that? I think you save like
bunch.
10 or 15 bucks because the expansion is only $25.
Yeah, it just what the problem is here is that goes against everything I stand for.
That's true.
So I don't know if I should or not.
The
But what
entertainment industry is humming right now.
Yeah.
Mad Max tonight.
Oh yeah.
Witcher next week. E3's coming up.
We just watched the Avengers. Yeah, crazy time. May's a good month. Anyway, the current word count for Siri on the Witcher Wikipedia, not Wikipedia, sorry, it's actually Wikia. It's Wiki, the Witcher 3 Wiki, the official one anyway. The word count on the Siri page is 2,002 words.
That is not including comments, correct?
Right.
Okay. So
I
you didn't,
ended
you
it-
didn't just like word count the page.
Right.
Okay.
I selected basically from just beneath her name to the end, like the last period.
Yeah, it's not like on the side like other articles you might like. Like
None
you're not
of that.
including those words. Okay.
No, so 2002 words about Siri. What will the word count be at this time next week? Huber, I'm going to ask you to hold off. It's actually my turn to reveal first this week. He was so excited. Huber is very sure. Ooh, I'm
Yeah, I'm
sorry.
very sure about
Sorry, listeners. I just killed you there. Hit the microphone. I'm positive I have it right this week with 2,804 words.
Like the 4.
Excellent.
The 4 is key.
Michael Huber, your turn to
My
bet.
turn?
Yeah,
My logic behind this bet
sure.
is that by this time next Tuesday,
Yeah.
the game is released. No one's going to get through that game that fast. No one's going to be writing Siri entries.
You are underestimating. You're talking a little too much before everyone's locked them in. Hold on.
2,200.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Daniel Bloodworth.
I'm doubling.
4,004. That's a good bet. That's a good bet.
I got this in the bag.
So yeah, because here's the thing. I mean, people in Sweden and Italy and other places are playing the game, are streaming the game,
Uh-oh.
and if nothing else, they could just copy, write down what's in the character bio in the game. And there's a lot of things that happen with Siri.
Inside
So
knowledge here.
if they're gonna write everything down, then
no.
Played the game.
Oh,
It's
God.
Like, why do you steer these bets towards Bloodworth every single week? Why are you like, well, Bloodworth worked on this week, so let's decide what bet we're gonna do around the latest project.
Yeah,
that
let's get
Daniel
like a
Bloodworth
Disney
worked on.
Infinity bet here.
Yeah, the last one was
Where's
Project
that?
Cars. What the hell is wrong with you?
In my defense, this is the big game this week, and Project Cars was the big game this
That's all
week.
right.
You know,
I
I've
got
been
it.
waiting all year for a Batman bet, and we're probably not going to get it
We're
because
never
Batman
getting
comes
that
out after
Batman
the week
bet.
after E3.
Yeah,
I'm
you're never getting that Batman bet. We did like trailer length. We haven't done trailer length in a long time. I'll give you one of those. We'll do one of those soon.
believe you.
Okay.
I'm confident. I got
Brandon's
this.
bet.
2,600.
2,600.
Ooh, that's really
Did
good.
25.
Yeah,
but
that's a good
I'm
bet.
feeling it.
Okay, I'm gonna lock those in. Thanks for your bets, gentlemen. Let's talk about last week's bets. We kind of did a little bit. It was about Project Cars, of course. There was a trophy called Keep Calm and Race On, which was about crashing or hitting a railing or something and still winning the race after that. Crashing on the first turn. It was before the first turn, actually.
Yeah.
And still winning the race. Our bets were, Jones, you bet 0.1%. I bet 41%. Brad Ellis in the super seat bet 65%. Huber, how do you feel about that bet?
65. It's a little high. I would go like 40 or 50.
Okay, and Bloodworth went 31%. I wrote it down. Oh, the current percentage for this trophy is 49.1%.
I was gonna say 48.
You would have won. Huber would have won. However, that means I win with my bet of 41%.
Nice.
Well played.
Point
That's really high,
Bossman.
wow.
It is really high. It's actually one of the higher trophies. I think it's
It's an easy one.
the way that Brad defended his bet. Like I showed him the trophy just then, and he said it's just like everyone's gonna crash on that first turn. You're playing like a hyper real racing game. Like you're just gonna crash.
I was just confused about like what makes a turn, what makes a crash. Like if you bump into something, is that a crash?
That's a crash, man.
You
Yeah,
know, like, okay.
If you
So-
bump into another car, is that a crash?
that's probably a
Right.
crash too. Yeah.
Ram 'em.
So yeah,
Yeah.
those it just sounded muddy to me. So.
Let's get another Burnout game. Let's do it right now. Burnout. Bring it back.
Does
Huber
EA
High,
have
next
Burnout?
week. Burnout.
Is that an
Yeah.
EA property?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll happen.
They did the
I
team
think-
did Need for Speed
I
most
think it's
recently.
very unlikely.
Yeah. And I mean, Need for Speed is happening again this year.
Yeah.
Burnout will happen in 2017.
Blood, just
Lock it in.
say it'll
Wait,
happen. Just say
the
it
whole
will
story
happen.
was what's going on with that team is really confusing, anyways.
Why? What's wrong?
There's like a bunch of them split off to another country and made a new company, and then the core Criterion guys are now working on that weird game they showed a bunch of concept footage for that has like all the other like types of vehicles and stunts and stuff.
Yeah, that game looks cool.
Yeah.
We'll probably see more of that at E3.
Cool.
There's almost no chance of a Burnout happening anytime in the next 2-3 years.
Breaking my heart, Blood.
They had that stupid downloadable one that really burned it. It was like top-down 2D.
Right.
Yeah.
Burnout
EA
Crash or something, right?
Yeah.
EA, just the people that I talk to internally were always like, you know, Burnout is just not a franchise that will ever sell on that name. And that's, you know.
Doesn't have that Need for
You know what?
Speed.
And so it was like getting
You're right.
them to do Need for Speed was sort of like the graduation kind of moment.
Yeah. You know what? I would do a new game that's just called like Crash Stars.
Crash Stars.
Yeah, so-
terrible name.
Whoa.
Terrible
That's
name.
such a good name. You get
No.
the point entirely immediately.
Crash Stars.
Yes, it takes place in like a near future where people just like to see stuff crash. We accept that. People watch NASCAR for crashing. So some multi-billionaire creates a league just where it's about crashing cars. And then so it's about
Okay.
that and rising the ranks of the Crash
All right.
Stars.
You needed the context.
You
All
need
right.
the context.
Okay, a little better.
Absolutely. Okay, so that is the show, by the way. What a weird show we've had. That's a fun. Thanks everybody for being fun this week. That was I had a great time shooting this. As the winner of the bet, I get to promote a video and close out the show. I'm gonna. All right. I'm gonna promote a video on our website. Oh God, I want to promote another video so bad because we brought it up. I'm not promoting this video. I'm just saying it exists out there. There's a video of me winning the Internet All-Stars, Battle of the Internet All-Stars, in which I'm sick at Tetris, and everybody's just like, how are you this good at Tetris? And I'm like, you gotta understand, I'm just a baller. But I'm not recommending that video. Don't go see that. Do go watch Ladies in the Lobby. That's a new show on GameTrailers that Elise Willems has produced. And is actually good and isn't like a snarky me.
good.
It's actually good. Yeah. Okay.
We're trying a new format this year. Quality.
Actually good show.
Elise leading the charge.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like Elise did set out to make a good show, which is awesome, I think. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to you and Huber.
Yeah. We just goof off.
Garbage. Just pure garbage.
Kyle comes
No.
in. He's here for like half an hour trying to decide whether he's actually going to do an episode or not.
It wasn't that.
I'm never a part of that conversation.
So, okay, all right. We should set through two things straight here. Just to be super clear, Huber labors over every episode of Huber Hype. He's focused on it all week. Earlier, like yesterday, he was like stressing, like, what do I make this about? He thinks about it all week long. He's not just throwing those out there. Okay, what happened earlier this week is here's the thing. If you have what you think is a C+ episode, should you put it out there in the space? Brandon, you can do all the talking.
No,
you
this is a good
want when
point,
you
actually.
win the bets, but I won the bet. Do you know what I mean, Brandon? Do you think you should put a C+ out there, a C+ episode of a show?
I think you should not do C+ episodes. How about that?
What if that's just the way
If you had like a scheduling conflict, if you were like, I can't, something happened, I got a car accident, I locked my keys out of my apartment. Not that that ever happens to you, Kyle.
Okay.
But, some issue that you could come in and excuse yourself and be like, this happened, and then for that reason I was distracted. But if you literally just come in and you're like, I don't know, I just got nothing this week. It's like, it's tough for me to sympathize with that.
What if you just don't have anything that week? What if there's just nothing?
There's always something. There's always something to talk about.
Oh, I know,
with games.
and I did. I talked about it, but it's
Yeah.
just like, are you going to be funny? Do you have interesting comments to make? You know what I mean?
Thankfully, that's not my job, Kyle.
Yeah. And I mean, I think I pulled it off. I think I put out a B+ episode this week.
Yeah.
And I think that's all ever people ask for me is B+ episodes. So I should go over the score. The Super Seat has 7 points. Bloodworth has 7 points. They're tied. Jones has
Not
2.
after next week.
And I have 4 points now. So Jones, you're really left in the dust now.
It's true.
That is the episode for this week. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for downloading, or thank you for streaming. Thank you for just giving us your time. We appreciate that. And it's fun for us. Don, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, Don
Thanks,
Casanova, everybody.
everybody.
Yeah,
Don,
thank you,
thanks.
Don. And everybody, there's only one last thing to say. Tomorrow is forever all ours.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the ending line now?
I love.